I've never felt more like Simple in my life.
He's human.
He's human. It's beautiful. So that's something they could be scared of, you know? He's got a soft side. But the thing is, I think you nailed it. Just in terms of the feeling, Na'Vi are pissed, and I think Astralis are sad. You know?
Emotions.
Not seeing a lot of fire out of them. And it's strange because when you look at their roster, they got like everybody on a brand new contract.
Yep.
Huge upgrades between blameF and config, and they were all so excited, you know what I mean?
I was under the impression that they would be boot camping Astralis, and from the player cams we saw earlier, I don't think they all are. So that's an element of it. I remember even going back to last year when all their pieces were fragmented, we didn't quite get the best of them.
Yeah.
Na'Vi in the meanwhile, you know, all sitting in the same room, feeding off each other's energy.
I agree. I think, yeah, they need to be able to smell each other.
That's how it works with humans, you know, pheromones and whatnot.
Because if they smell bad, you want to end game fast and get out of there.
Boomich looking to end this A-site hold. Quick kill versus blameF there underneath the palace. That's the two initial defenders, and the rotator is also starting to fall. Config killed instantly. No answer. Nothing whatsoever here for Astralis, other than some tidbits of damage. So, stellar pistol. Quick little A-split there, up ramp, through connector, no mid-hold. There was really nothing up until them getting themselves on the bomb site, and that was not nearly enough.
So yeah, again, you know, Zipix to 2025. That's the one that everyone's like, oh, would they have done that today? Knowing, you know, the last month or so of performances, because it doesn't feel like Zipix right now. And then they have, you know, Lucky, who's fresh on the team. They said, you know, I feel like he's always going to be kind of in danger. It's not to say anybody's telling the truth or not. It's just that, you know, any player who's not playing super well is in danger on a top team, right? Like, they can always get replaced. He knows it. And so do his teammates. But the whole lineup has just got a bunch of fresh faces, and the ones that aren't fresh are locked in for a very, very long time. But Glaive's dad buff wore off quickly, man.
Yeah. Back into the reality, man.
Yeah.
I remember when it was Astralis versus Heroic on Nuke during the fall finals, Glaive looked like a better opera than Simple, dare I say
made
it.
a video called Simple, Zywoo, Glaive.
Yeah.
Just on that one Nuke performance because it was so unbelievable. I mean,
Things changed.
so quick.
Config as well. I think statistically looking at Config, he's, you know, he had a lights out start with this roster, and then we've kind of seen his consistency and his performance both fall off. So that was one of the variables that I didn't expect, if anything. You know, Zipix may be disappearing. There was this question like, how much more in the tank?
Yeah.
Glaive returning. Oh, maybe there's some rust. Lucky, unproven. But when we looked at blameF and Config, I was like, this needs to be the core.
Yeah.
This is what will at least work, and
It's
it
only
hasn't.
been blameF, really. You know,
So?
kind of the most consistent part of the team. But yeah, like Config's inconsistency kind of follows him around. Super high peaks, right?
You know, not to punch all of you Astralis fans in the gut right out of the gate. 2 rounds in, and we're already talking smack.
They've gone 9 rounds already. You know?
But
it's been tough.
it is the 2-0 start for Na'Vi. Okay, 1 casualty versus Bit. A second here, blameF with that Galil. Maybe 1 more. Rack it up.
We've got a lot of Mirage players in the group so far, you know, or in the last group and this group as well. And I think Na'Vi are definitely the best Mirage team, period. That's just they're the team everyone looks to try to improve on, partly because their CT side's so powerful. And I think Na'Vi is also a team. They've leaned on their CT sides for this map, like we saw back at the fall final, you know, where they made their huge comeback versus Heroic. On Mirage, they rely on config off of Cat and a lot of their CT side players. But we've also noticed that on Mirage, Glaive and Zipix have had some trouble integrating, but it's definitely been a situation where just 3 out of 5 can play well, but never 5 out of 5.
Right.
You know, that's the biggest issue.
Yeah, obviously players who just didn't have Mirage in their repertoire for so long. Trying to get into the groove of things, but it is just crispness from Na'Vi. Everybody hitting their shots and headshots on top of it. So 3 kills versus Astralis. Na'Vi just making this one look like it is all too easy. Gun round as well, right? This was no defense offered over. I'm looking at that scoreboard on the side of Astralis, and I see 2 players dead at 0 and 3. And Zipix and Config could both be in that exact same situation. One, in fact, is. So you've got 3 players, 0-3 starts.
Yeah, they got mauled. Yeah, also 4. I believe it was Na'Vi Gambit at the, not at the major. Where would it have been? Were Gambit at the fall final?
World Finals.
Well? World Finals. Oh yeah, that was some of the most intense
Grand Finals.
Mirage. Yeah, that was some of the most intense Mirage I've ever seen. So that's the other team that could compete with them. But Na'Vi have one hell of a T side as well. So Yeah, lots of problems just piling up. I mean, what knife did Simple give away?
I haven't seen it yet, actually.
Yeah,
That's
on
true.
Twitter, if you guys aren't in the Twitter sphere, that's where the action is at, by the way. The funny things happen on Twitter. Simple joined Don Hackey and Pimp in giving away a knife, I believe, if MIBR are able to beat them. So, I guess we'll have to see what...
I'm curious to see what his move is. You know, is he salty and just gives away whatever's at the bottom?
Ooh, just like a gut knife?
Yeah, he's got some top shelf stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you know,
Well,
maybe,
yeah. He did just say a knife, so...
just sends you a butter knife by a mail.
That'd be kind of dope, though. Signed?
Signed, yeah, of course. Just the pistols here within the B site, but just those pistols, at least good enough for the one. Glaive onto the scoreboard. First kill of the game for him, and yet he and 2 other teammates down for the count. But there's damage versus electronics, so there's still a chance that another body falls, but we're just looking for the silver linings here at the start of the game. We're waiting for Astralis to give us anything to praise.
Yeah, very thin silver linings. Very calligraphy level thin.
Calligraphy, now that's a lost art.
Yes.
Is your handwriting very good?
Oh, it's... No, I really... That's one of the only times I get anxiety these days. If I have to write something on a piece of paper to give to somebody,
Yeah.
I go, yeah, keyboard hands. What's this? But I love looking at good handwriting. Yeah. So I'd like to learn calligraphy. I don't think it'd stick with me. It's kind of like a mouse. Like I've never found a pencil that fits my hand.
Okay,
You know
sure.
what I mean?
Yeah. You got them long fingers, man.
Exactly.
Easy pickups, every single one.
Yeah. So the cat attack's a real popular strat, especially versus pistols, and CTs know it. But there's not a lot you can do because if you sit in the site, there's just no good positions to hold without cat or B apps being held. So that's why it's so popular for the T side to attack that way. But now we're on to round 5, full guns versus full guns. And Navi have already shown us really high tempo, really explosive, and very well coordinated, honestly, on these fast attacks. Simple's waiting to punish the jump spot.
But doesn't seem to be coming his way. Zipix instead underneath the windows.
Things like this Molotov to van, it slows down rotations, also buys time in the default to go and do another thing. So if a team just saw that, then they're going to be careful about jump spotting again for even some time after that goes off. But you can see Zipix goes right back to it, which is very wise of him. They're trying to find whatever margins they can without losing a player here.
Config and blameF still trying to tether within middle, but they have backed up in the last 10 seconds. And that's going to leave Config tucked inside ladder instead. Was prying with his eyes down mid, but gave it up.
Ooh.
It's got Zipix in here as well. That's an evacuated B site other than Lucky inside market. And a couple of moments now, Config nearly a victim of timing.
They're trying to ISO them in this inside of the ladder room. Oh, they just get the kill. The thing is, Molly comes down. Boom, it kills both in connector.
Damn. Zipix's position could be unexpected, but Simple just slaughters him.
I mean, that was a flick, right?
It had to be.
He was not looking anywhere near that, I think.
So CT side tried to interrupt on that mid setup. I feel like they could feel that squeeze. Config instantly iced out, and then big boom with the double inside con.
Yeah, you could really feel the ideas there where they just work in the extremities first, came back to middle, and they were just waiting until a CT would get inside of the ladder room, and they were blessed with 2.
This is, this is everything you need for Navi in terms of a start. Electronic, 5 kills, 0 deaths. Boomich, 6 kills, 0 deaths. Simple 3-1. Bit 7-1. Like, everybody's just good. There's no frags coming out of Astralis other than these fadeaways from Lucky here.
Yeah, and a lot of the first match was MIBR's individuals looked awesome, but Navi's individuals were just whiffing.
Slow.
Yeah, whiffing really badly.
Simple afterwards as well, saying some tech issues, and you know how that can just kind of like, it starts as a scab and then just gets underneath your skin and whatnot, but that's the opposite of a scab, but however. Yeah, nice one.
That's actually slowed down by 100, just so that we could see it for the human eye.
Are you making up those numbers?
Factor of 100. They they told me, I wouldn't lie.
Navi on fire. Straight out the gate, the 5-0. blameF A1S. Tries to posture towards top mid. Boomich recedes. Doesn't give them that opening kill they'd hoped for. And then I do enjoy the fact that blameF retreats pretty quick. Maybe getting ahead of this A hit. Electronic creating a ruckus. But Config comes chasing after him, and I love that he retreats as well.
Yeah, they just... Electronic showed so much just to pull back and wait for them to push through, so...
Just a little spray control, Boomich.
Yes.
Oh my god, he put there so sharp. They're looking way better. This is the Na'Vi of 2021.
Yeah.
Everybody shooting hot.
Maybe we're their good luck charms.
6-0.
Maybe Anders really did have all that power, you know?
I asked Anders, okay? We showed up to the studio, Launders and I, as that game finished. We walked into the green room. Anders walks back into the room, and I looked at him. I said, Anders, how do you always pull this off? How did you manage to predict this? He looks at me and goes, well, if you really think about it.
Oh my
And I stopped him right there. If you really think about it, Anders, it makes no sense.
This is Anders who predicted Na'Vi to win the major a year ago.
I know. He knows something we don't.
He's prescient. He's on the spice. Oh, Molly missing to the top of mid. You know, that's small, but it's big.
Nice damage, good nade, but we are talking about a Na'Vi where every single player has $11,000 or more in their bank account. So momentous start to this Mirage play. Xyp9x, good kill versus Bit before his teammates were in a spot to trade him. So we do finally have Astralis with a 5v3 and support. Boomich could unravel it. Finds a nice bit of timing here towards middle, but he gives his back over to Config, and this is going swimmingly for Astralis.
Wow.
3 kills towards this B site. Electronic with a chance to claw it back as he attacks Config's face, and Simple decides to come back towards B rather than leave, which it looked like he wanted to.
You know, it is the best point of attack here, being at the top of Cat. Xyp9x has been making some moves today, so see if he wins his duel. Oh, gets spotted going to ban. That's now Simple's food. Yep. And Electronic will look for the next, but Glaive, that swing is all that's necessary.
There to stop it, so 2v5 attempt shut down for the most part. Half of health left for Simple. Yes, please.
If there was a crowd.
Right?
Yeah, that was a classic.
So they've done it, Launders. They've stopped the hemorrhaging.
That was a nice move from Xyp9x.
Another 6-0 for the record.
Much had the most pressure put on him, right? They actually mollied his spot right underneath that phone pole, and then flashed him as well and swung with that to try to kill him, and he still managed to grab the second frag. And to be honest, it feels like those are the kills that lately Xyp9x is not getting. So for the first 2 to get on the board, it's a great sign.
There it is. A win off of the back of it.
Big Zip.
Not necessarily any mistakes here from Na'Vi. Maybe Bit going a bit too fast than of his teammates, but I feel like if anything, it's just Xyp9x arriving to the game.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that was one where like, did Bit jump out too quickly? But yeah, just gonna say Xyp9x played that pretty well for now. 1 round, you know, the first one's the hardest.
We'll see if that's true. Bit right back to winning ways.
No shot. You can't even hear with all that commotion going on.
Top con smoke.
Yeah, and that's, you know, they don't even have to work on mid anymore. Let's see how worried they are about ladder room. They're not even going to use any nades. They'll get this information ASAP. Glaive's actually kind of in jeopardy here just because they walked into ladder room. Oh my god, he got hit through the wall.
No way. And Bit would have heard that. He's right underneath him.
Yeah. That is true. The only thing you're worried about is the jungle player supporting, but... Oh, I thought they had 1 in ladder. Okay. Oh, no, they do. Okay. Well, it looks like the A attack's coming in. The best part about ladder room is it can support for A attacks as well. It stops the window room rotation and gets you in window, and you can listen off Cat as well.
Xyp9x getting into position fast enough, so Astralis do have the right read. Just a matter of stopping them with firepower. And quick adjustment from Lucky. Config into the kill feed. Boomich activates. They don't suspect that Glaive is in there. And now Config, he's got a very real chance at continuing on. This is excellent. Astralis, man disadvantage, and they still come out on top, barring Simple's heroics.
Yeah, hey, not bad, man. Oh, yeah, you can see Glaive was like nervous when he got hit, like you said.
Right, Bit was right there.
A confirmed tag, yeah. But even if they were talking a little bit, you wouldn't hear it, so it could have been... Ooh, shot. Honestly, I think he needs that right now because...
Don't forget who you're playing. Don't you dare.
He's had a rough start today, but he's back. He's back.
He probably felt like it was... He experienced what it's like to feel human, and he never wants to have that again.
Fun, yeah. He just, in that moment, wondered why doesn't everyone else just retire if they play like this sometimes? Yeah.
Easy pickups.
Well, yeah, this spot ends up being huge. And, you know, there was a lot of inadvertent pressure on him inside that window with just the unwelcoming off shot, but also the fact that they were above him inside the ladder. So if Glaive was any more nervous, he would have moved out of there or tried to make a play that would have actually changed the course of that round. So good on him for just holding his nerve. Uh-oh.
Lucky, almost caught on his extension.
Yeah, he really chilled for that, too.
Ooh, nice nade. There's a couple of rounds now. Simple over in apartments gets hit by Zipix. This time it's bit at the hands of Config. And speak of it again. So, Astralis and utility. Oh, those shots are close.
Oh, he walked right into it, yeah.
Walks back. Damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. Shots were landing as well. Zipix up close with Config, slides out from his initial position. And Boomich, well, he serves as a distraction. Config turns around to trade, dies. 2v4. And we've got Na'Vi in a comfortable position on this B site because Lucky, again, at the start of the game or round, gets wounded so quickly.
Shout out to Boomich for that perfect spacing off Cat, right?
Yep.
Turning the corner because there's two players there ready to defend against the B-Apps push.
They slot right in.
Uh-oh. That's a hurt scope. Man, this new Astralis, I mean, sorry, new Na'Vi, just, you know, this team is just, they are so good. I mean, like when I'm watching them play, it's really just, they do everything. They're super methodical. They have all the right tempo changes. They are just more than their individuals. Like, as a team, they're so impressive. You know, even in these couple of rounds where they're losing, Astralis have had to work really hard to win them. I wasn't sitting here staring at my screen, you know, watching that MRBR match, so I don't really get exactly how they lost. We were in the cab on the way over, looking at the HLTV scoreboard.
Yeah.
And
scratching our heads.
Yeah, exactly. Like, wait, 11-11. So I'm just going to guess that Na'Vi are playing a whole lot better now.
Timeout used here for Astralis. Better late than never.
I mean, I think, you know, I don't know. I wouldn't be too upset if I was Astralis from this position. I think the 2 rounds they won were really good. So, yeah, some of their ideas towards mid, they can get countered. Astralis or Na'Vi are going to give a very hard time. Doing a good job of just soaking up that information quickly. There's not really too many gaps, I would say, for Na'Vi. But when they bring it into these late round situations, like when they were down 5v4 after blameF died in mid, like you mentioned, they did do a correct gamble stack and finally put together the pieces that, yeah, it should be this site. They all went to A, and that won them the round. So that's how you know they're actually playing, you know, with prophylaxis instead of reactive Counter-Strike, which will not win you rounds versus a team like Na'Vi. And I think that's a good sign.
See what moves they can use coming into this one. 5-round lead, strong start for Na'Vi. Oh, and the boost gets called out.
Oh, and they know they're trapped underpass.
Yep. Nobody in apartments here for Na'Vi, though, to really capitalize. You can see Bits trying to sprint over.
Brit in it.
Bruv.
They're still jumping around an underpass. Uh-oh, that's too deep.
Yeah, he got by. Oh!
He jumped up on the railing.
We take those.
Let's go. Okay, yeah, that is an invitation to hit A, though, because they would have, you know, probably got support in that position. There were 2 guaranteed there. They were boosting.
So this is really it, you know, this weird situation just forcing Na'Vi's hand. I feel like both teams kind of understand what each of...
Oh, yikes. I don't think Lucky had a smoke there.
Boost. Curious for stairs. Could definitely draw a player off, but blameF, nice reactions. That's 2 on the trot, make it a 3rd. And a 4th, perhaps, no sir. It is a good dink, leaving Perfecto on 10. He's dead. As Glaive comes in, it's Astralis making the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, yeah. 2 times so far this tournament, we've seen weird underpass shenanigans. I think off that boost, getting spotted, getting trapped in underpass. And that should be a lost position, but instead, as you said, Astralis just stayed calm and really leaned on blameF here off the corner of the smoke. I mean, all these shots are beautiful, and he gets the dink on the last guy as well. Again, if anything, he's been the consistent feature for Astralis, where they've had a lot of trouble.
Simple and Boomich to top mid, waiting for Bit to come through underpass.
Avi continue to play pragmatic CS, but Astralis, they've got answers. Just a quick pendulum swing back to A, and the entirety of mid has been given up from the CT side, so...
How deep do you want to go?
We have a lot of utility here still left over, but, oh, they're going to forego playing it slowly and run down the ramp. blameF will spot the bomb.
Good trade.
Still a minute up.
The Electronic's not able to get out a bit. He comes in from connector. He's the X factor, and he dies. blameF, back-to-back impactful rounds. Electronic also falls. Sure enough, Perfecto and Simple in the 2v4, but Blame doing what he does. Staying alive and shutting down the T-play. Excellently done there. Gets the bomb carrier, falls away from it. I think also notably, I mean, killing Bit. Bit's the guy who comes sprinting in. He's trying to just cause the chaos.
Yeah, you could argue that was the round winning kill back like one way or the other. So yeah, he was out in the open. He had a second there where his opponent wasn't aiming at him, but he looked like he got shot by the spray. Okay, 13 seconds and Simple's in the sight.
Ooh, and he's got this one figured out. But blameF comes out at the right time, shuts down the bomb plant, shuts down Simple and any chance he may have had. So I definitely like this. You know, like you said before, when Astralis only had 2 rounds, there was some like highlight moments within those 2 round wins.
Yeah,
it didn't look dire.
Yeah,
it just looked like individually they weren't coming in as hot as Navi. Now, with a couple of nice moments here from blameF, even Config coming in with this rotation to kill Electronic and Palace, again, not as impactful as the Bit frag, but just another moment that could have gone back to Navi, denied. 4 of the last 5, all the way of Astralis. And a push to the top of middle here from Blame. He just wants to fight. He's feeling it tonight. When you've got that groove, you move.
All that kill will tell you is that it's a default, but they know that there's no one else there to attack at the top of mid. Wow, an early 5v4. Nothing feels better than that. And Blame was a lot more ready, actually, for that Bit swing than I thought, looking at it from Bit's perspective. It just seemed like the flash came out a little late. It's really unnerving to know you just lost that duel, like at a minute 25, and you could go exec on a site, but you can see the CTs are so comfortable here in mid. Even if it is a B hit, there's so many fast rotators. Oh, that's a weird one. Electronic is watching the mid push from A side. That would give you some weird information if Astralis did turn the corner.
Not the case, though. They lean back.
I don't know if he threw any nades there. Yeah, he threw 1 or 2.
Trying to jump over Zipix. Oh, he ran right beyond him. Zipix doing a good job of just hugging this wall, but the trade's there for a bit, and Config had been spotted. Config could actually slip around this arch if he decides to push through his own smoke, and there it is. Clean play to deny Bit any impact, but still it's a post plant and Simple and Electronic. These are 2 players you want alive. 2v4 turned 2v3. Both of the CTs still within market, but maybe they're just serving as a distraction for Glaive. This flank could come in. He's gonna have to find his angles, doesn't want to be denied this attempt. Walks outwards, Lucky gets the wall bang, Simple's position still unknown. Would have heard that drop by Glaive, and they're not assuming that this is a bench play. Simple shows his hand, but there's Glaive off the bomb with the kill for Astralis' 5th round win.
Well orchestrated, that's good stuff. Another successful B-hold in the sense they get the opening, and that can be enough. And then Glaive's coming in on the flank. All he's doing is clearing out that close left position by the window to make sure if they are going to jump out on the retake, they're all good, and he can get a kill if he wants to. And that's the information they're looking for. Nice play from Config as well, as they were up material just to come through the smoke, go 1 for 1. That's good enough for Astralis, and they fight hard. They win another rounds. blameF in mid, I can't help but feel like he's been very impactful.
He's definitely been at the center of this turnaround from Astralis, from 6-0 to this, forcing Navi to take their first time out.
Yeah, you know, I don't really feel like there are too many holes. one way or the other. I feel like both teams are kind of gambiting for that opening duel. See if they can take it, whether it's to push the top mid, the fast down mid plays, or trying to do some connector rushes. I think the B entries definitely have been lacking, though, from Na'Vi. They're not figuring out how to deal with anybody on the site, but they have committed to jumping out window a number of times.
Still, it's been money for days for Na'Vi. Astralis trying to earn themselves an easy round for once. Double op setup, Lucky and Config.
Crazy discrepancy, man. We got 4 players with 10 kills on Na'Vi. Only a single player with anywhere near 10 kills on Astralis, but the round's so close.
Yeah, but that single player, blameF.
Yeah.
And yet again, Impact dies out to blameF. The solo mid player here that's left over. And he immediately looks to sink his teeth into connector, but he's got to be cautious that he's not caught by Cat. Oh, like a mouse, he's going to try to scurry through.
Oh, he gets by.
There he goes into the bushes of the jungle. Zipix, nice angle, and Config, simultaneous kills. Gonna keep that man advantage in the hands, and beautiful shot from Lucky.
Yes, sir.
Through the smoke, denies the plant, falls on the shoulders of Simple. We've seen him in multiple 1vX situations so far tonight. No miraculous clutches as of yet. But maybe this is his chance to truly sprinkle one in. Lucky's got all of his attention, and Lucky's got all of his health. Easy pickup for that closer.
Yeah, they're just leaving there a ticket. He's been racking them up. That was kind of a... We've all been there in a pug, you know, kind of a clear mistake where the guy's sitting outside the window, you walk by in jungle, and blameF is already deep enough that he is like an OP position to stop that fight. Smart of Zipix to just wait and just see if someone shows up. But, you know, that shouldn't be a kill that goes their way, especially after blameF got one back in mid, got up connector, dodged the op, and then got into jungle. He did like 90% of his job, and if he had just stayed put, it would have been very hard to rotate in. So that was quite a mistake, and now Na'Vi don't have any money. Oh, the tables have really turned.
Deagles. It's that 6-0 start from Na'Vi that cursed him. Again, dude.
Continues to be a
Again.
trend.
Yeah. Now, having lost 6 of the last 7. Man down again. And to repeat, just pistols. So, a field day here for Astralis to tie this game up at 7 rounds each. Config tries to escape. Oh, he hits that shot against Bit. But at the same time, his support in blameF takes damage. And I feel like Na'Vi is one of those teams, like, do not give them an inch in a buy like this. It's a warning shot. And of course, Config, the type of guy who's like, okay, comes right at it. He's going to have Blame here to help him. 2 sets of feet down here at the bottom of middle. 1 man left to find Astralis. They'll tie. 7 rounds each.
Damn, not bad from Astralis, man. That's not bad at all. Showing a lot of resilience. And some good CS for sure, man. And I felt like Na'Vi were actually playing pretty well for a bit there.
Misses his chance to take one with him, but that is the Astralis logo on fire.
In one final round, pretty much seen, you know, everything from the T side of Na'Vi, whether it's slow mid control, B execs, A hits, definitely lacking on some of these entries. That's been a big one. The 5v4s, I feel like, starting to lean towards Astralis more and more, and they've been bringing those 5v4s into round wins. So for Na'Vi, I think they still have the option to try some of their regular stuff, whether it's mid control. I wouldn't, for me, if I was looking at this game, I wouldn't mind trying to be aggressive on mid and see if they play there first off. This is the Astralis top mid smoke, which is a weird one because it's not exactly wide enough for the top of mid, but it can work well enough, especially if a team doesn't go there, and then you can use it against them if you just feel comfortable knowing they haven't crossed the top boxes, and they are kind of imprisoned by the smoke right now. blameF just waiting it out. They'll approach afterwards, see that the coast is clear. Simple on a Krieg.
Yeah. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
The man's weapon.
The SG553.
Yeah, slightly new look here on B with Config, popping deep into the halls. And he's just going to spot the crack, not flick for it, so he'll just wait.
Or Okay, let's figure it. Oh, no. Oh my God, he unscopes and still hits it. Listen, man, it's nasty, but it works. Simple. Gonna catch that creek headshot. Pop shot misses. Perfecto. That one alleviates a little bit of pressure. If you got a player anchored, then maybe you're in trouble. But check this, flanks on flanks.
Wow.
We've got Bit all the way on the A site. We've got blameF and a teammate in Glaive, both wrapping apartments. Perfecto seems aware of this, but will he be aware of the second? He does spray into Glaive. Bit trying to clear the marketplace, and if Lucky goes down, then this should be Navi's 8th round win. blameF shows his hand. Perfecto incredibly low. Bit still coming inwards, but he's not needed. Perfecto perforates the last one, and we've got Navi with a 1-round lead. blameF put his team on his shoulders and carried them to a near tie in the first 15.
Who has wronged me throughout my career?
All the tournaments he's made us lose, probably cold. Be very nice.
I'd like to have my last map either on Cache, the old Cache, or Mirage. I think these two are my favorite maps by far.
I will say Ancient. It will be a fun game for sure, so that's why.
I would want my last competitive game to be on Inferno. It's been my favorite map for my whole career, and we've had some great matches on there, and it's always a fun time to play some Inferno.
My last competitive game, I would like to be on Dust 2, probably. Just for the overall CSGO feeling. Dust 2 is like the map, so. Oh, it would be like a 19-15 game, you know, overtime to get all the good feelings of Counter-Strike and all the adrenaline kicking through your blood, so for sure, like a close game.
My last game of my career should be against the best team at that moment, and I hope that will be in the grand final.
I would say Heroic because it's like tough opponent, and I'd like it will be a tough game for sure. It will be really cool if I will play versus them.
I would like my last game to be against the best team in the world, whoever that's going to be. Right now, it's Gambit, but who knows who it's going to be in the future. But hopefully we go out playing the best team and come out with a win.
2017 was a good year for FaZe. We were always had back and forth battles with MIBR/LG and SK and that old lineup, and the games have always been so good with them, and probably would like my last game to be against those guys if time would let it be.
Last kill of my career should be with a Deagle. I think I'm one of the best Deagle players out there, and I think it would be nice to have a nice headshot as the last kill.
I will say Scar 20. Nice weapon for last kill, I guess. Or Negev. Like two of this one.
And we're back with blameF on the top of the scoreboard for the side of Astralis, but Navi with the 1-round lead.
What does it all mean to you?
What does it ever mean, man?
That's true.
What does anything really mean?
Does anything mean anything? is
What's the
question.
point?
Yeah.
What's our purpose? Why are we here?
Wordle, I think.
That must be it. We figured it all out. Don't fret. No existential crisis as long as we have Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Got a bit of utility here for Zipix. Double flashbang smoke, and Simple falls back towards... Wow.
He wasn't even done flicking yet, actually.
No, he wasn't.
See that?
Yep. Little bullet magnetism. Like Halo.
Your new favorite game. Top 1,500 player in the world right here.
That's true. Top 1,500 Onyx player in the world. I would say... If I wanted to say, like, best in the Counter-Strike commute, but I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah, tweet him.
Come at me.
Also, I think Nitro's higher than you now.
Nitro is, yes. He's a 2000 Onyx.
It's a really good Pokemon.
Just good at it all.
Welcome back, Nitro.
Smoke goes deep.
Welcome back, Astralis, actually, you know, into this half into this game now. Oh,
Well,
he's dropping bodies.
Don't you speak too soon. Simple. Oh, come on. No, not going to find himself a third. Config's got the answer. Electronics got the corner. Config's jumping around at a smoke. He's doing circles, pirouettes. The old, who knows what that's called? A classic. Config, what is this? And why do we have to watch it? Okay, Perfecto, come clutch. 1v3. Let's forget about what Config just did. As he put on those dancing shoes and slid around inside the smoke. Perfecto making pretty quick work of all of these initial corners. Everybody's jumping, and I'm getting nauseous. It's a sickening situation here as Config closes with the pistols, eyes wide and USP so sharp.
You know what he's laughing about.
I can't believe
What was
that.
I've definitely spilled juice on my keyboard, and it's done that. Cleared the area.
Oh my god.
Wow. That's when he's at his best, right?
Yeah.
When he's fully mobile. Electronics, like this freaking noob was just I was just listening to him jump around over and over again. That's funny.
So disorienting.
Comedy King, Config. Well, that's 3v5.
Yep, that's that. 8 to 8.
Let's go 8 to 8.
Double scout, Boomich and Simple.
Oh,
Eagles mixed in between them.
I mean, Na'Vi in jeopardy of going 0-2 to start a group. We know they do a slow start here and there, but you know, considering the form we've seen from Astralis recently and then the loss to MIBR, it's someone's getting yelled at, I feel like. You know, I don't even know who it is.
Right.
So
There's just a collective scream. Oh, Electronic. Taking damage as he wanders through the jungle.
now again, like it's the prerogative of most T teams to just NB in this situation, but you just never want to make it seem like that, even if you're going to try. But you can see Astralis already grouping for that idea, but they're going to lean more heavily towards the apps instead of anyone turning the corner on Cat, which will keep the CTs in place in this position, puts way more pressure on top of Perfecto, and we'll have to pay attention to Simple's rotation to see which part he tries to reinforce. They don't really have a way to clear mid without just taking an overt risk. But
yeah, a well-timed smoke by Perfecto turned them through the underpass. Now we're playing with 20 seconds, okay? This is when you're playing with fire. You're all lathered up in gasoline.
Oh man.
Don't ignite. Bit kills Blame. 10 seconds to spare. Electronic.
They don't have a smoke.
And they've got to get by this scout, which is tagging bodies. Electronic, all you have to do is stop this bomb. Lucky's on the other end of Tetris. He runs outwards and dies, and they've done it. Okay, but that is by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah.
There's no way any of them felt comfortable in that moment.
No.
But at the end of the day, it worked.
Yeah, and at least it worked, and you can just not do that again in the future. But,
Please.
When you're calling a reroute like that with the amount of time, it's just an absolute, danger. Yeah, it's a really dangerous move. And they know there's limited smokes for the CT side, so Perfecto is really smart to weigh, they kind of get the signs,
So well-timed.
like nothing's coming just yet, let's just use it. Yeah, so it's really well-timed. And there officially is enough time for Astralis to plant that bomb. Maybe they could have replanted in case some CT jumped out of the boxes, but it was very risky there. I think the biggest risk, though, was the fact that they didn't have a smoke to block them in the front of connector, right?
Yes.
They got the kill towards Ticket, which means they could have, smoked the bottom of the connector, come up, and felt very free crossing the site and scaling, but instead they had to run the risk of leaving Cat wide open where Simple is sitting there with a scout. See, Electronic was just trying to go for the QB sneak. Get that bomb planter dead and the round's over.
But covered by the player next to the bomb planter and also the guy inside a sandwich. So, I mean, all things considered, as sketchy and as nerve-wracking as it looks, again, they pulled it off. So we move along, and we move quickly through this one you'd expect. Na'Vi, just the pistols. But I say that with a grain of salt. The only player towards the B side of the map is dead. Perfecto gonna activate. There's Bit as well. They know the last two players are here. 100% confirmed. Last CTs on A.
Yeah, just a race around the map, basically, but they know that Glaive is up and hunting.
Quick lap. Go fast.
That's pretty good. 2 AKs.
Yep. You take that. Why not? I mean, you've got nearly better weapon. You've got more AKs than Astralis do at this point. True. Go for it.
Yeah, you made out like criminals here. Take that one and run. So do you think that Na'Vi are going to be the best team of this year as well? It's kind of a big guess to put on you, especially after what we've seen with such
It's a lot of pressure.
a low amount of
You're
games.
asking me off of their MIBR
People
loss.
will remember this for the rest of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I think they will be.
Okay.
Yep. I think they will be. I think it really falls on Gambit to close that gap, or for G2 to really just, piece together all of their potential. Either Gambit improve with the system they have, G2's system is miraculously good, or Na'Vi somehow shoot themselves in the foot.
Heroic and Gambit are pretty much the only 2 teams to not make a roster move last year.
Yep.
Which is kind of cool. And the fact that Gambit kind of firmly number 2 throughout the year is also pretty compelling. And I think they definitely had an amazing kind of first year. 4 players in the top 10, 3 in the top 6. Pretty unreal. Lots of amazing storylines coming together for us in Counter-Strike 2022.
Oh, it's going to be a good one. Fingers crossed. Don't want to jinx that. Knock on wood and all that jazz.
It is. It's going to be. Knock on woody.
Whoop. Lucky. Down for the count pretty quick. Electronic lickety split. Comes through connector. Catches one. And this is going to be a fast move from Astralis. There are bodies within this B site, and there are less bodies on the other end of things. Astralis dying all across the map. Perfecto pinched by 2. And blameF with Zipix by his side. Barely. 11 HP here for Zip. Simple, already coming out from the market door, misses the flick, but 11 health is all he needs. A missed shot will cost Simple, and the 2v2 is where we're left. It's a split, of course, through Cat. The peek is there. Zipix now dead, and it falls on the shoulders of Blame. He is the player who stepped up to get them here, and he's standing tall in the clutch. 49 health to 11, dives back into the cover. And now he's got so much room to work with because Electronic needs to close this distance. But the Molotov, that could be the equalizer. Blaine tries to play to the edge. I don't think so. I don't know. We jumped out and it's over. He concedes and it is an 11. The Astralis claw it back.
That's Electronic with 4 kills, but what a move from blameF. He actually got out of his position to move to bench, and that's why they were so unaware of where he was. Simple with a rare miss as well, coming out of market. He knew where Zipix was. And, it wasn't the widest flick ever, right? So he had to believe he was going to hit that shot, but yeah, all they had going for them that round really was Electronic, and that wasn't enough. Wow, I thought even the sight hold was going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, it
felt
looked
like
solid.
Perfecto was going to get another.
It really, to me, really falls on that whole Zipix killing Simple with 11 HP.
Yeah.
That missed op shot opens up the B site even more so. Config now opening it again. Mac 10 down within the site. blameF just directly behind him, and they're going to make quick work of this hold. It's over. 12-8.
Damn. I don't think any score is insurmountable, but of course, this has a making of another upset already, considering the fact that Astralis really just picked it up so heavily. Speaking of heavy things, blameF, 19 and 13. He had his name all over that last round, all over the first half as well. Inside of that comeback on mid control. And in those early rounds where they were losing, he was getting killed in mid, and then him not, that just speaks directly to his impact, the fact that he became the murderer, not the murderee.
I'm gonna let you have that one. I'm not calling.
I think that's a Scrabble word.
Yeah, Freya is a ratty Scrabble player. Launders and Freya were playing Scrabble in the green room.
I'm playing Scrabble with her, and I'll let you be the judge. She writes down. She says, "I'm sorry." First of all,
yeah.
I look at my phone, and she went with EF.
2-letter word EF.
And she also, for the Wordle today, thought that you could shorten corduroy to cord. I tried that as a...
Freya, love you, but EF, that ain't flying, Chief.
I'm asking for definitions from now on.
Yeah, we put you on a list after that one. But back to the action. Because Na'Vi after losing to MIBR to start the day, are now trailing by 4 versus Astralis. They're on fire yet again. My eyes fall on Config.
Yeah.
Okay, blameF, he was the impact in the first half after that cursed 6-0 start that got Astralis into contention. This second half, we've got Config flying up that scoreboard, nearly catching blameF at this point. And, you know, Config on a T side. That's what you want. Config on the entries.
Yeah, go hunting.
You know, we look to these two players. If their injection into this Astralis roster was enough to get guys like Xyp9x and Glaive onto Mirage, then you better step up when they struggle, and they are. 55 seconds left in this one. We start to see 3 players come through the apartments with that bomb in tow. Bit's going to play that closer corner, but we do have smokes inside connector, and that's keeping Na'Vi busy on A.
They have weak in this position, though, because they don't have anyone in ladder room. Bit's now in a really compromised spot, so he's relying heavily on Perfecto here on the back of the site. Bit's going to eat a lot of nades. He has to deal with Cat as well. Somehow gets the first kill out of Halls, and he's going to take down Cat on top of that.
Jumping Glaive denied. Perfecto also coming in with a bit of impact here. He's waiting for the next fight. blameF falls down in front of him. Lucky just combat hopping over top the van, and we've got the 2v2. Can Simple make a difference? A 13th round win on the line because Lucky's going hard. Op shot after op shot, gets to 10 kills. He's been found out, and Simple, he needs to sprinkle in that magic. This is his chance. Again, another clutch attempt, and every other time they fail, but this one's so damn close. It's him versus Lucky, Op versus Op, an M4 swap, and Simple misses another crucial shot for Astralis to take the round.
I can't believe what I'm seeing, man. I'm just gasping every single kill. Dude, Perfecto's drawing silhouettes. That was a free one, man. Not a single point of damage off that hold, and it was Bit.
Oh.
Man, that was a nice shot. But Bit was the one in the compromised spot, you know, inside a get right, and he gets 2 frags straight up. That takes the attention off of Perfecto. Perfecto gets nothing. Lucky clutches. Looked like a sick clutch attempt from Simple. Thought that was about to happen. But now we're at 13-8. I mean, they just continue to be on fire. They're uninterrupted streak right now, and Electronic finds one back. I can't believe how these rounds are transpiring. Approach coming towards the A site. 3 players here. All waiting. Bit once again is the pressured one. He's got to float a little bit. But blameF can get the kill and push into Halls as well as go under Balk. And he does have only 1 target come in his direction, so that can make a big difference. Starting to get the scent of danger.
Smoke down, slides down, moves over closer towards ramp. Glaive and Bit over towards jungle. That could be a crucial contact point, but blameF as well. Ooh, he's going to be good for at least the 1. Simple catching Lucky's big, but Glaive gets through, kills Bit in jungle. Simple, no reaction off of the first cross, but will still catch blameF up on Palace, and here we have it. Na'Vi looking to take their very first CT round win.
He's going to try, I think, 30 seconds. I mean, he can run it back. I mean, they might think he's somewhere on the site, but they're starting to clear this out, but it looks like Glaive might actually give this a shot.
He's got the timing.
Yeah.
Electronic's going to try to catch him off. They're going to hear each other.
Yeah.
Or...
well, I guess he'll just at least get a plant.
I'll go for it.
Yeah.
Give it the old college try. Glaive in the clutch. Would be the first successful 1vx of this map. And Glaive gets off at the bomb site as well. Ooh, now he's got a good duel versus... Oh.
I actually didn't even realize that was so... thought he was actually clean for a second.
Nope.
Yeah, nice try, but plant some. Plant some. They'll take the money, you know, even though they're winning by so much.
You take the round win. You get whatever you can grab, and Astralis the same, right?
Yeah.
Little buffers.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's Na'Vi back in the game. Man, this is way more competitive than it's supposed to be when we think about it on paper. I think we had like, you know, 4 odds, something like that for Astralis, 3-4 odds.
Nice opener.
Yeah. Electronic was basically the only good thing about Na'Vi versus MIBR earlier. Yeah.
Config frustrated, but he has had a good half. So yes, you get spammed through a smoke. You tagged Electronic. You welcome the spray back the other way.
I think they can just feel how much they want this win. You know, they can taste it. It's enormous.
Oh, it'd be meaningful.
Yeah.
In the back of your mind, you're thinking, well, if MIBR could do it earlier today, then why can't we? But there it is. 6 terrorist round wins in a row for the Danes. Na'Vi put out those flames. But can they pick up the consecutive round wins? That's the big question. Boomic, not the best of cover, but he has Simple in the form of support. Good opening kill. That's the bomb dropped as well. So definitely intentions being found out. Bit gonna catch Glaive in the bottom of mid. Lucky caught on his jump back away towards ramp, and all that's left for Astralis is here towards this A site. They're trying to grab the bomb, and finally Config gets his paws back on it.
Feels like they've got a little bit of oil now. Opening up here on the CT side, starting to peak a little bit more fragrantly. Simple just going wide off stairs. Trusting his teammates there for a second. Lucky will find some compensation back. And I mean, there's 50 seconds. It's still not a totally lost position.
Give it enough time here, and maybe
Yeah,
they have 2-2.
They have mollies for underbelly. Oh, they throw that one to defaults. Okay.
But the follow-up works, and even then, Boomic, good for at least the one. So Config and blameF, the 2 heaviest hitters for Astralis tonight, and they find themselves in a 2v4 turned 2v3. But we get that CT rotation from Perfecto.
They have Bit smoked, right?
15 seconds to spare. A little bit of team flash doesn't help. blameF was looking for the kill versus Bit, but he will still get it over the edge. And then Perfecto activates, but 1v1. Again, the 1v1 is on. Somebody's winning a clutch. And Electronic, the cards stacked against him, 19 health to work with, but I love this reposition. He was last spotted inside of Connector, works all the way back around to CT ramp, and blameF, well, he's tucked himself into Tetris just in the nick of time. Oh! He arrives, and Electronic dies. blameF with the clutch, and Astralis stop them there.
That was 3v5, right? Coming up the ramp.
Yes,
Lucky
sir.
finds his kill on Simple to the top of the stairs. I don't even think Simple knew he was fully exposed. Hit him right in the hands. Scope sticking out. And yeah, I mean,
2v4.
You know, they had the utility to do it. They went slow. They used all of their mollies perfectly, under balk and default. They smoked Bit in top of Connector, so Bit came out into an unfair fight for him. They swung them together. I mean, they earned it every step of the way. But you got to say, you know, Na'Vi did not play the man advantage in each of those situations, all the way down to 0.
Astralis with blood in the water looks to just jump on this A site again.
I hate to tell Na'Vi to play more carefully, but they actually should have right there.
Oh, Glaive.
Oh, man, he's got a timing. Yeah, they're going to come through it. Oh.
Bit tries to get through that terrorist smoke, and instead he is met with resistance.
He thought he was early.
They leave. They've got Glaive inside of Connector. That's forcing Na'Vi to shuffle all of their attention onto this A site. Glaive tells them to go the other way, and that B side of the map is empty for the taking. Oh, the big brain Glaive play. And just as all the CTs anchor in, Glaive's even able to get out a Connector.
Yeah, I heard him run off. I mean, they're so vulnerable right now. This is conditioning, right? This is what Glaive is.
Oh, the underbelly
for.
of the beast is a soft spot. And Na'Vi are about to concede 15.
Wow. That's a round where you can almost do no wrong, right? If they attacked A, they'd still have a pretty good chance, but this is even worse for them. Okay, they'll actually get a couple of kills for the road.
What can you do about that?
But it seems like they're going to take off now. Dude, that's 15. That's well earned, man. 6-0 start for Na'Vi in this game. A really great comeback from Astralis. I mean, definitely some clear mistakes here from Na'Vi. Not the best performance from them so far, but they worked hard to get that start. They made it as hard as possible. It was 2-7 at one point. Astralis held their nerve. 15-9. And unlike yesterday, it feels like they're actually going to end it. Okay. I'm tired of this shit. Oops.
You seeing this?
Oops.
Astralis have picked up 14 of the last 17 rounds. Something crazy like that, man.
And it was their CT sides that were so
Big
nice
numbers.
when this team got formed on Mirage. Yeah, figured out the T side as well.
What a T side.
What a day.
Right? Yeah, dude, Counter-Strike.
It's just one of those things. I mean, you could say objectively, Astralis playing well today, but will it last? That's the big question. But, I mean, whenever we cast them, they're
What's wild to me is, like, we're talking about Mirage, man. Like, I put Na'Vi so high up on the list in terms of Mirage teams that this kind of felt...
Yeah, the list starts with them. Well, I mean, you know, everything that Na'Vi need to win around, they've got it right now, so...
And it's not over. It's never over till it's over.
Sure, it doesn't feel like their day-to-day, too, but I think Astralis were feeling that way earlier. Losers match, by the way, somehow. Slow approach on mid, 40 seconds. Astralis actually moving quite slow on this round. They have no progress. 30 seconds. I got to pick a site soon.
And just
Luckily
go.
for them, Na'Vi haven't done anything too crazy so far, but this double up and connector could cause them problems. We'll see. They're going to approach it.
Ooh, good flash.
Yeah, 25 now.
This is crazy, dude. Talk about crunch time. Oh, but where do the kills fall? Where do the chips land? Oh, we've got Bit able to keep it equal. Boomich back by Ticket. He's the one that's going to be under pressure. Config trying to get closer. Insta-kill. And Zipix with the bomb on his back needs to kind of take off pressure. blameF's frag is big, but will they cover CT? No plant. And that is Na'Vi's 10th. Double digits taken. Astralis, they knew what kind of a game they were going to play by taking such a slow tempo, and it doesn't work out their way.
And you can see when all the, everything dematerializes in mid and they figured it out, that the situation, which site's going to be the right one. They go, 2 for 2 on trades. It's like, all right, they could actually hit the A site. But we see the exact problem with taking that long to get to that decision in the first place, where blameF is an emergency situation on the A site. You got to have something smoked or you can't plant, or someone's covering a position. He dives for CT after they get that boxes kill, but there's no reason for Na'Vi not to just swing out. If there's 20 plus seconds left at that point, he might be able to get that plant for free.
And then Electronic opens this one as we have Astralis come through with the lesser buy. But AK picked back up. Nobody sticks around for Na'Vi to control that weapon. And Glaive, while smokes are up, the limited smokes that is, how far is he gonna go? Could definitely get into the ladder room. Nothing here to stop him. Electronics completely given up that forward cap position he initially had. Perfecto is going to go excavating through apartments soon enough.
It's feeling like almost a repeat of what we just saw. No good guns here to fight him at the top of connector.
Trying to fluster the CT so that they walk into Glaive. Just posted in an unorthodox spot. Hoping somebody overextends, but it's as he turns his attention that finally Boomich makes that move, and he'll deny it. No success from Glaive with that picked up AK. blameF all that's left over, and another one here for Na'Vi. So, as I said, it's never over till it's over.
Yeah, it's a quiet death here on this round for Astralis, but they didn't have the best guns in the world to work with. It's a nice couple of rounds here from Boomich. We saw him make that play from CT, and he took the perfect timing on the peak. Everyone and their grandmother's trying to get up connector, get all the way to triple, then flash, then push CT, and Boomich waits right before the flash, takes his time to fight, and if not for that, they would have been able to, Astralis could have won the round right from that position, but does a good job of delaying in that spot. 15-11 here. We'll have a couple more buys certainly out of Astralis, but now it feels like the temperature in the room is raising a little bit, starting to get hot under the collar, and Astralis know that they just can't wait for Na'Vi to wake up. Because, in the history of Na'Vi in this last year, one of the biggest and most interesting things is, although they've been so dominant, didn't drop a map at the major, all these crazy statistics, won all of their lands that they attended, they had a ton of games that they had to come back into to do that. The most notable one, at the major versus G2 on Nuke, that was like a really common thing for Na'Vi, and I feel like there's never been a team that's been as dominant at Na'Vi that has had so many close matches in this way.
Ooh, pushing forward. Into the AK of Blame. Nice. Config commits himself to the cause. And that's at least a second rifle found, but of course nobody else has armor other than the one saved by Blame. So aim punch still very much a factor, but Lucky's got his hands on the Colt. What's the next piece of the puzzle here? They've at least got the defense split 2-2. Middle with room to work.
Yeah. kind of deeper into the rounds. You know, maybe they think about trying to get up cats onto B or in this spot, knowing Perfecto could be alone, but Simple's posted here, waiting. They don't have the utility to clear out a lot of positions, so looking for some of these dry peaks to come through. Electronic becomes the focal point of the round once again.
Oh, didn't see it. It was close.
Yeah, they're making some space now. Oh, wait,
nice little peek, and Simple again, just not pulling the trigger on this play. 25 seconds. This is a weird one. Bumich starting to come back. Simple gonna connect the shot versus Lucky. Good pistol damage. Simple swaps out the weapon, but the bomb's been culled. Nicely timed here by Bumich to just be that thorn in their side on this A site. blameF, there's still a chance if he can catch the kill, but he won't. Bumich doing a very good job.
Yeah.
You brought his name up last round. This is another moment where, even though the odds are always in Navi's favor, the moment they start to slip, he's the glue that gets Astralis stuck. Yeah, and he ends it.
Yeah, he's been very fluid around the A sites. Doing great. Astralis trying to stretch this round out as much as they can. You know, they've got 2 rifles. After that first exchange goes down, absolutely no grenades, but they make a lot of progress right under the nose of Simple, off of Cat, who's telling his teammates he has connector watched, and nearly makes that a scary situation. Of course, he could have died on Cat there too, to the pistol, but it doesn't go down that way. So keeping Navi on their toes, but I'm sure they didn't put all of their mental stock into that round. Instead, it'll probably be this one where they've got more to invest. Let's see what the idea is. blameF chiming in with some ideas. It's not a full-strength Navi, of course, or Astralis. They've got a Galil on blameF, but that's pretty much the only concession.
He is still very much up there, 27 and 16.
Ooh, the fast mid explode. But they're clearly not trying to connect with the A ramp, you know, in a play like this right off the bat. Instead, it looks like they're going to get into window. And look at middle. There are absolutely no CTs anywhere to be found. This is the perfect call here for Astralis. Config getting by the window as well. Simple has kind of spotted it from the side, and Config will take one out. Electronic, that's a big name to find.
Nice taps. Keeps it clean just as Electronic was trying to find himself back into the cover.
Man, they got so much time to work with, too.
Yep. They made this play with certainty.
Yeah, they're going to make Navi suffer in this position. I mean, Config is pretty safe. It's so hard to retake him from this position.
Perfecto keeping eyes on murder hole. Simple also out. Oh, Bumich. Really? Wow. Falls as Config decides to push out from jungle. How about a third one from Config? Pops up. Simple is right there on ticket, and they still have 0 defense over towards this B site.
Wow. Another great call from Glaive.
Oh, he's been found, but Config still connects with the 3rd kill, dies to the wallbang. And Bit gonna turn his attention back to this B site just as Astralis' boots fall down upon it. He's trying to challenge out beyond the door, catches the bomb carrier.
Oh my God.
25 seconds, flash comes over. Perfecto, lending a helping hand. We've seen the 2v4, but this time it could be the other direction. Config set up his teammates so well. Glaive able to cross back over. Blame drops bomb again. It needs to be Glaive. Both these CTs tagged. 7 seconds to spare. He picks it back up but goes down. And Perfecto helping out Bit to take this one.
Oh, they made such a big mistake there. The bomb crossed bench. That was an instant plant of free rounds. Config does everything on the A site, even attracts all of the CTs to rotate over what could be the last round. It's not a situation where you gamble.
Wow.
So every round could be the last. And they give Bit the chance. Look, they're just trying to chase this bomb over and over again.
Both those players. Zipix trying to jump back into the cover. blameF trying to cross back over. And Bit, that A4, dude, making a commercial with it. Both of those last bullets connecting to the head and leaving Astralis just in shambles, in tatters. And yet, fact of the matter, they still have to try and win this one. There's only 2 chances left for Astralis to close in regulation, and Perfecto's unkillable. USP's out. Lucky sticks him with a P250, but now it's Navi on fire.
If I saw Astralis do what they did last round, I would be so fired up. You know, the fact that they gave them that saving grace, a huge mistake like that, and Na'Vi were able to punish. Now, I'd be fully, I mean, you could see my pupils fully dilated. Round 30, Na'Vi on fire. 1 round to get to overtime. I can't believe we're getting a repeat of yesterday. The team that was supposed to close it out. Such a giant lead. And looking good as well. Managed to drop that many rounds in a row. But no, Na'Vi can do, you know, almost no wrong. It's crazy, man. That you have Config not only get into the window on round 29, find his kills, get onto the site, kill 3 people, or 2 and extra damage, and they still recover. It's inexcusable, really.
That flash from Perfecto comes over top of Market just to allow Bit to... I mean, Bit's fighting out of the back Market door.
Yeah.
One of the most chokehold situations.
This is the thing that Lucky doesn't even... He wouldn't even had the cross if he didn't have the bomb at the bench.
Sure.
Having to go pick that up.
And then Zipix wouldn't have had to been out in the open.
That's a post-plant position.
Yep.
You know. That was... somebody didn't know they had it.
Here it is. Overtime or 16-14, but momentum shifts to the CIS squad.
They soften up Config a little bit here. This one's about surviving the tilt. You're not going to expect Window to be another play you can make right after a round like that. Na'Vi leave it open, but they'll be watching. Trying to ready this A-ramp push, if it goes this way, to go for the flank around. They're leaning heavily enough towards B. Simple's in spawn watching the window. You can tell it feels like Na'Vi are more prepared for B, and Astralis are starting to lean into it now. Clock is ticking, man.
25 seconds again. We've seen Astralis succeed in this situation and also falter. They've got 15 seconds to spare. They need to get out. And if that Molotov burns off the doorway, then they're all going to be forced to just jump out the window. Perfecto, he peeks. Simple with an easy kill. And Astralis, this is just falling flat. A flat line, a dead heartbeat. It's done. 15-15.
Wow.
OT needed. What a comeback.
Wow, we have got there. Yeah, they woke up finally. They got there. Round 30. And you could see that they were just starting to figure it out. It became too obvious. And you could tell that Astralis felt obvious. You know, there was no pressure anywhere else. They used about 25 seconds where there was no sounds on the map, no one pressuring a ramp, no one throwing any fake, no presence in mid whatsoever, no lurk coming in. Just a full B exec later on.
20 seconds
waiting
left.
for it. Simply rotated over the window. And they had that locked up. They could even peek freely with their extra piece on top of B apps.
It's a very uninspiring final round.
Yeah, they
out
had,
of Astralis' T side.
They had this. You know, I didn't call the game with G2 and Nip a choke. I didn't call that one a choke. This one was. If they end up losing.
Now we get Na'Vi playing a bit more proactive. We've got 2 players floating around middle. Molotov to mid boxes. Config just locked in. All about the timing on his peak. Or just sit, wait, and hope that one of these CTs overextends to top middle. But what could serve as a trigger? How do they get one of these counter-terrorists to push top mid?
I mean, look at them. They've calcified. The CTs are all happy in their positions. Electronic wins his 50-50 duel. No nades involved. He's got support from this off as well. Oh my god, right under the scope of Simple.
Not bad.
Well, that's an opening. I mean, Electronic still exists.
That's true. Oh, but Config catches him too. Zipix comes out from ramp and Astralis squeeze. Perfecto able to answer. And Config, that's a big scalp to take, but still man advantage here for Astralis in the post. Lucky down to half health. Excellent utility coming over the top. That's going to fluster the Opper, and he's standing on just an edge, but Zipix, 2 impactful kills in this one. And from the bottom of the scoreboard of Astralis, it's time to come alive. Perfecto known to clutch. And these T's all over the place here. He's going to be sandwiched. Insta-kill as he takes to the top of stairs. Astralis figured this one out
Round
off
31.
of the back of Config.
Round 31. This is how they stop the streak. That ain't no coincidence, let me tell you. Nicely done from Config, you know. Worked hard, kept an inventory of everybody that he saw, knew electronics was an underpass, dealt with that threat accordingly. I feel like Zipix, haven't seen him this game. I don't even remember talking about him at all until that round. So, okay, well, they're awake. 3 to actually win the map. Navi were comfortable there for a second. That 5v4. But better positions have been lost. There's going to be a lot of pride involved in this one now that we've seen, you know, both parties feel uncomfortable, look uncomfortable, get better.
I mean, I think additionally so when you add the context that we're talking about the losers match right now. This is the bottom of the group.
Yeah.
And it's not the bottom of the group that leads to elimination, but you put yourself at the bottom of the gauntlet next week. And I feel like both these teams already kind of disappointed with their first opening losses.
Fortunately, it's kind of hell for everyone else who has to go up against Navi, you know? Just like they did at the World Final. All right. Whoa.
Good flash.
Yeah.
Well timed. Config nearly catching bit, overextending.
Even that pushback's a big win. You know, ladder room, they just comfortably walk into it, clear things out. Smart move from Perfecto. This actually kind of makes up for what they lost a little bit, you know? But the move is coming back towards Connector, it looks like. And Simple, yeah, Simple's just open, watching this. And
20 seconds. Config again. Dude, he is the jackknife of Astralis in overtime. Config again on the kill feed. Lucky as well. Single ult frag. That shot lands. It falls to blameF. 2 players right in front. He gets them both. Blame next. What a multi-kill from blameF.
1-on-3. The guy on A site that we spent all the regulation talking about. Putting together another round with all the glory. The clutch for Big Boom. Simple with 2.5, and blameF did the rest.
Just unsuspecting. They didn't think he'd be here. And he knows he's getting run upon. Still, insta-dink. Down goes blameF, and up go the chances for Navi. Tied yet again at 16 all.
Damn. What a match so far. Simple. Looks like this one's preparing to crawl out. I don't know if it'll actually come. Blame is taking his time here. If it is going to be a full A take, Simple's not in a terrible spot, but Blame can come out afterwards and cause a problem for him. His rotation out of Palace is a lot more difficult. And if they start jumping up Tetris, this is where it'll become a pain point. And it looks like Blame is... Oh my god!
Timing.
No way, dude. He actually turns the corner now. And Simple... Holy smoke this. No, he'll get away. It's a stalemate.
Could have been better, could have been worse.
He's still worried about it, it seems like.
Nice nade, but Config insta headshot again.
And he's turning the keys. Another opening kill for Config.
blameF gonna hear the movement. A couple of bodies here towards middle, but as they back up.
And this gotta get you thinking about the idea of going B. We've seen some kind of last-second rotations out from Astralis, but is this going to be another one? No, Config's making his way over to A site, still doubled up in Connector. Glaive doesn't know this completely, and Simple has made his way out of the site.
Yeah, this is a misrotation from Navi, but Glaive, he's going to fall victim to blameF. That's an easy pickup.
Now they know for sure it's going to be A.
Yep, they come running in. Electronic confirms it over the top of the stairs. Zipix, you gotta be sharp. Electronic's right there, and he falls. The entirety of Navi inside of Connector. Simple trying to give cover, but now that smoke goes down, and so does Bomb. We've got bodies on site, and blameF sends Config to the grave. 3v3. One still stranded within that bomb site. It's Zipix, low health. The utility here for Navi, non-existent. It just needs to be the firepower, sharp guns, and he gets lucky. Posted up. Simple's will have the double. blameF, though, looking, but not succeeding. It is Navi with the 2 rounds in OT.
Damn, that was so desperate from Navi, man. They're in Connector. They lose that position. Top Connector gets smoked. They desperately swing on the stairs, see 4 players coming up the A ramp.
Just swarming.
And then the remaining rotators all have to come through the smoke and sit in the position that Electronic just died in. Simple knows he needs to change this, okay? He needs to pretend to be the CT rotator and allow his teammates to scale so he gets all the way across the triple. If you hadn't made that move, it would have just been a cluster. They would have had no way to make that happen. And Lucky was obviously not in a winning position there, holding the cross but sitting too close to the wall, exposing his body to Simple, who wasn't exactly careful about how he peeked the Tetris, right? He was just farther away.
Felt like Simple, you know, he wasn't thinking too much because he has to take those risks. He's just looking to make the play happen.
The finest margins in this match.
Lucky's sitting there on a silver platter. Simple, I love the boost. Looking for that fallback, but the man in underpass looks to stick around.
He's got nothing else to do, though. Oh,
missed shot. And blameF ejects.
Scared him at least. Ooh. Strauss looked to put some pressure on ramp.
Electronic looking for the kneecaps. Gut shots to config, doubles up into blame, and those are the two heavy hitters. We look at the scoreboard for Na'Vi, it's a whole team affair. Astralis, two-pronged assault. blameF on 30, config not far behind him, but where are the other three? This needs to be their round where one of them offers us a shining moment, and maybe it's gonna be Lucky. He kicks it off with a headshot, but then Glaive, well, his head's taken clean off.
They can still approach this full utility to work with, 50 seconds. They can take it as slow as they want, shove Lucky out of his position. It looks like Lucky is going to hope that it's a late rotation over towards B, but they're not scared of him. Whether he knows it or not, they're giving up 18 here. Na'Vi potentially securing themselves double overtime. I don't think there's even a chance Astralis try to retake. Everything wide open. Great call here from Na'Vi that make it happen. Against all odds. And once again, like yesterday, the team that had given up the lead made the enormous comeback, potentially also winning the game.
Manages to hang on. What a wild score from Na'Vi, you know, 6-0 start, and then a 6-round spree at the end of the second half in order to get to overtime. So just playing on the extremities, man. Playing within the minefield, but we got little to lose, and Lucky is making moves. 3 kills off the op. Zipix, he's got Perfecto confirmed. The spray's a little wild. The peaks need to be there. Time is of the essence, and they've got it. They jump on top of ball, and they've got this secured. Lucky pulls off the unthinkable.
I had checked out. I mean, they left to B. They let him back in.
They were at B.
They retook 2v4 with it up and picked the wrong site. And Lucky did everything. Absolutely everything. Wow.
Exactly.
And I don't even know. I don't even know. I mean, seeing that empty site, Na'Vi are just thinking about how they win the game next round. Not if they have to worry about a retake.
When he gets caught, config. Skip leg day, and he's a little too slow. Boomich rolling down mid with the momentum. 5v3. Na'Vi looking to recover after that last one because you know it stings. And Glaive, well, he finds timing in connector. That's at least 1 kill back the other way. He expects Electronic to be peeking, but not quite. Frag goes deep for a bit of chip damage. And 18 is anyone's to take.
Dude. If it's not overtime, they wouldn't even have attempted that. And then they win.
Unbelievable.
3-on-4. Who's going to secure it? Final 2 rounds here, this first overtime. I can't help but feel like a second one's coming. Almost as fast as Boomich towards the B site here, but look at the amount of presence. He's going to take a fast step, spot an op. This opens A up, actually. They're going to feel really good about this now.
He's got all of Astralis on this side, but that confirms it's solo.
Yeah.
And if you can win that 2v4 last round after being on the opposite side of the map, then this one is still winnable as well.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no doubt in their mind. If anything, their confidence bolstered. But they're coming in from 3 separate directions. Perfecto trying to get ahead of Glaive goes...
Oh. He heard him too. I think they both heard each other. Oh!
But Perfecto stays sharp.
One better.
Simple hunting here with... Oh! What? Through the box, Lucky trying to do it yet again. But there's that CT peak that's inevitably going to stop them, it seems. Electronic has tucked himself in. He's got a Molotov on his belt. He fires into the head of Lucky. Zipix on top of it. 1 second! 1 second! And he goes all the way! You are kidding. You are kidding.
Oh my god, dude.
Zipix cold as ice.
Give this man a lemon.
In what world?
I don't even know.
With 15 HP.
I remember a Zipix clutch.
And then both kills.
Yeah.
In what world?
It's just like the old times. No sweat. I don't know what version of reality this is. I actually kind of like it. This is crazy.
Double overtimer bust for Navi.
What in the hell?
In what world? I mean,
Truth is stranger than fiction sometimes.
wow. 2v4 between Lucky and Zipix. A 15 HP smoke diffuse stick in the follow-up. And now Navi have to fight for double OT. Let's see it. What do you got? Good grenade to start this one.
Don't do that. I've already seen it all.
Navi shattered after these last 2 rounds. I mean, did you see those reactions?
Yeah.
Frustration at an all-time high.
Yeah. They're in the salt mines.
Deep in those. In fact, the caves have collapsed,
Yeah.
and they can't get out.
Yeah, they're stuck. There's no light coming in anymore.
Oh, Glaive kicks it off. Again, falls back. Very similar to the way he started previous rounds in OT. blameF, though, inside smoke, a double, and now it needs to... Oh!
Like this?
The headshot to Perfecto. If it's not electronic, then it's Astralis locking in a win.
Oh my god! After all of that.
Unbelievable. Off of the back of the 2v4 Lucky Zipix clutch. We're talking a little Danish CS and a little bit of magic.
I would not want to be in that Navi boot camp right now.